If you've ever had a boss who made your life miserable, micromanaged every detail, or completely ignored you until things went wrong, you're not alone. Bad bosses are literally driving good people out of companies every single day, and we're about to reveal exactly what makes these boss holes so toxic and what you can actually do about it.
Whoa, okay. Boss holes? I mean, I hear the raw feeling in that. It definitely lands. But are we maybe
Yeah.
are we overlooking the bigger picture here? The system failures that kind of create these situations? Is it always just one bad apple?
Oh, there's definitely a system issue, no doubt. We'll get into that. But sometimes you just need a word that hits home, that captures that awful, grinding feeling, that constant negativity. Anyway, let's unpack it all.
Welcome to Monarch's AI Cast, where we discuss various topics relating to organizational health, leadership, and workplace wellness.
Yeah.
Whether you're currently dealing with a nightmare boss, maybe managing a team, and worried you might be the problem, or perhaps you're trying to figure out why good employees keep walking out the door, you're definitely in the right place. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're going to break down the three main types of toxic managers we see wrecking workplaces and dig into why organizations keep putting the wrong people in charge.
Right.
And then look at actual strategies, proven ways to handle it, whether you're the one suffering or, you're trying to fix things from a leadership or HR perspective.
Yeah, if you're dealing with bad management, you'll get some practical tips, things you can maybe use to protect yourself, maybe even improve things a bit.
And if you're a leader or an HR, you'll learn how to spot these toxic patterns, hopefully before they completely trash your teams and your company culture.
And believe me, for anyone listening who's lived this nightmare, that word boss hole, it's not just yelling into the void. It really describes that relentless pattern. It feels like they have zero intention of changing. It just hits differently when it's your day-to-day reality.
And that feeling, that personal impact, it's completely valid and often deeply painful. But that's exactly why we also have to look at the system. We need to ask why. Why do these patterns stick around? Are these managers just born toxic?
Yeah.
Or have they been completely failed by a system that never taught them how to lead?
So hang on, are you saying every manager who's making someone's life miserable is just a victim of bad training?
Yeah.
I get that training is important, it's huge, but from where the employee sits, it's really hard to swallow that awful, persistent behavior is only because they didn't get the right seminar.
Mm-hmm.
Some people maybe just have those tendencies, right? Or they're so lacking in self-awareness. No amount of training is going to fix that. Maybe they just don't care enough to change, even when they see the damage.
Look, I'm not letting anyone off the hook here. Responsibility is still key. But honestly, a lot of managers we label as bad really are victims of terrible or sometimes zero leadership development. Think about it. Companies take their star salesperson, their coding genius, promote them. Suddenly they're managing people. But nobody ever taught them the people stuff, the empathy, the communication, the feedback.
Right, which leads straight into that massive, glaring problem we see everywhere. Promoting top performers or people who've just been there the longest, like it's a prize, with zero thought about whether they can actually lead people.
Yeah.
I've seen it so many times. You get, super salesman Joe crushes his numbers, right?
Oh, God.
Total machine. So, bam, sales manager. Now he's in charge of a team, humans. And suddenly Joe, who can't let go of anything, is checking every email, every call, communication, forget it. Vague, passive-aggressive stuff. And everyone's miserable. Then management scratches their heads wondering why morale tanks and half the team quits. It's madness.
It really is astonishingly common. And it's this thinking, right? You're amazing at doing the thing, so you must be amazing at leading others to do the thing. It would almost be funny if it wasn't so damaging.
Funny for who? Not the people working for him.
No, absolutely not. And this whole promote them because they're good at their old job or because they stuck around.
Yeah.
It's an organizational failure, plain and simple. We know the skills are different. Technical skill versus people skill, often totally different worlds, especially the soft skills, the interpersonal stuff.
Yeah.
Yet companies keep doing it, setting people up to fail, hurting employees, hurting the bottom line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely not funny when you're stuck under it. It's awful. But, all right, let's get specific. Let's break down these types of toxic bosses because it's not all the same, is it?
Right.
First, you've got what I call the 0 or 100 boss, either totally hands-off, like MIA, or breathing down your neck constantly. The passive ones first. The laissez-faire types, the ones who only show up when everything's already on fire.
Management by exception. Yeah.
Exactly. They can make employees 15 times more likely to be actively disengaged. 15. Imagine feeling that abandoned. No clear expectations, just silence. Until, boom, crisis.
Okay, hold on. 15 times, that's a shocking number, I get it. And yeah, feeling abandoned is terrible. But are we sure the 0 boss is always worse than the 100 boss? The micromanager.
What do you mean?
Well, think about the micromanager. The constant checking, the second guessing, the total lack of trust. Doesn't that just crush people's spirits, stifle any kind of creativity or initiative?
It's definitely crushing, yes.
Right. Like you have a great idea, but you know your boss is just going to pick it apart or tell you exactly how to do it anyway. That feeling of having 0 autonomy, it burns people out incredibly fast. And your best people, the ones who can think for themselves, they leave. So which is worse long term? The ghost boss or the helicopter boss who smothers everyone?
I don't know if insidious is the right word for being left completely adrift until disaster strikes. That feels pretty immediate and chaotic to me. But okay, fair point on micromanagers. They suck the life out of you differently. Let's move to type 2. The boss who dodges accountability.
Ah, yes. The blame shifter.
Totally. Things go wrong. Instantly defensive. It's your fault, never theirs. No constructive feedback, just blame. Or maybe pressure tactics, right. Constantly reminding you about negative consequences instead of, I don't know, leading.
If this fails, it's on you. That kind of thing.
I saw this manager who always said, if this project bombs, your job's on the line. Never. Hey, how can we make this work together? And the flip side, when things go well.
Oh, they're front and center, taking the bow.
You know it. Suddenly, it was their brilliant strategy all along. Your team's hard work, barely mentioned. It's a huge reason people quit. And honestly, can you blame them?
No, not at all. That lack of accountability, the credit stealing, it absolutely destroys trust and morale.
Ooh.
But again, stepping back for a second, does that boss actually know how to give good feedback? Do they even understand why recognizing the team is important?
Does it matter why, if the impact is the same, if they're constantly throwing you under the bus?
It matters if we want to fix it systemically. Is it someone who could learn with the right coaching and feedback themselves? Or is it learned helplessness? Maybe they had terrible bosses. It's often a skill gap, right? A big one. Not always pure calculated evil, though sometimes.
Sometimes it really feels like it. Which brings us neatly to type 3. And honestly, this is the one I think is flat out the most damaging. The boss who berates and bullies. Abusive supervision.
Yeah, this is where it gets really ugly.
This isn't just lacking skills. This is different. These are the managers who aren't afraid to yell, to insult people, maybe even publicly, humiliate them in meetings.
Ridiculing ideas, the silent treatment.
Yes. Threats, invading privacy, basically taking out their own stress and anger on their team. This isn't bad training. This is a lack of basic decency. Emotional control, 0. And the link is crystal clear. People under this kind of abuse, they want out. Fast. It leads to workplace deviance, mental health crises. This is where bosshole isn't just emotional venting, it's a factual description of really harmful behavior.
Okay, no argument for me that abusive supervision is horrific. It's completely unacceptable, destructive on every level. But the question I keep coming back to, the organizational question, is how does this person get away with it?
What do you mean how? They just do.
Right, but why? What allows that behavior to persist? Why is there a system, a culture, HR intervention, something that stops it, that protects people? It points to a massive failure in the organization's immune system, doesn't it? And while that sharp public humiliation is awful, I still wonder about the slow, grinding damage of the other types. The passive boss, the micromanager. Over years, they can erode talent and morale just as effectively, maybe even more quietly, without that one big incident that forces action. Which truly costs more in the long run. It's complicated.
Complicated feels like an understatement when someone's being actively bullied. But okay, whether it's a slow burn or a wildfire, people need to know what they can actually do. Let's talk solutions. So if you're the employee, maybe dealing with that hands-off type or the overbearing one, the first step, maybe, is trying honest feedback. If you dare.
Risky, but possible.
Yeah. But you gotta be smart about it. Focus on the behavior, not just, you're a micromanager. Try something like, when you ask for updates every hour, it makes it hard for me to focus on the deep work, and I feel like maybe you don't trust my process. Could we try checking in twice a day instead? Frame it around the work and a suggested alternative. Might work if it's just cluelessness.
That framing is key. Making it about the impact on the work, not just a personal attack. And actually, before you jump straight to, I gotta give feedback, maybe take a step back. Try to see their world for a second.
Empathy for the person making my life hell.
Hear me out. Not excusing them, But if they are drowning, if they got zero training, if their boss is putting insane pressure on them, understanding that, maybe showing a little empathy for their pressure sometimes, sometimes it can change the dynamic. Learning to manage up effectively.
Manage up.
Yeah, like figuring out their priorities, proactively giving them the information they need before they feel the need to chase you for it. It's not about blaming yourself. It's about finding points of influence. You make their job easier in a way that also makes your job easier. Sometimes that can reduce the need for them to micromanage, for example.
Okay, I can see that sometimes. But empathy has its limits, right? Especially when the behavior crosses a line. If it's really inappropriate, abusive, my advice, document everything.
Crucial.
Dates, times, specifics, what happened, who saw it, how it impacted you or your work. Then take it to HR, but don't just vent. Frame it professionally. This behavior is creating a hostile environment. It's impacting productivity. It's a risk. Make it a business case, not just a personal complaint.
That's often more effective, unfortunately.
But let's be brutally honest. If you've tried feedback, if you've tried HR, and nothing changes, if that boss clearly has no intention of improving and the environment is just plain toxic, maybe the best move is to leave.
The quit option.
Seriously. Your mental health, your career growth, it's not worth sacrificing for a battle you probably can't win. Sometimes walking away is the win. Protect yourself first.
And while leaving is sometimes necessary for the individual, I have to circle back to the organization. They need to fix the system so people don't have to quit. By actually measuring the right things. Stop just looking at sales numbers or widgets produced. Start tracking job satisfaction, engagement, burnout, psychological safety on teams. Use proper surveys. Use 360 feedback where peers and reports get a say, not just the boss evaluating themselves.
So find the problems earlier.
Exactly. Spot the patterns before they cause a mass exodus. If organizations paid attention to these human metrics, they'd see the boss holes or maybe just the struggling, untrained managers long before disaster strikes.
Okay, measuring helps find them, but how do we stop creating them in the first place? Prevention, right?
Absolutely. It starts with hiring and promotion. Stop promoting based on just technical skill or tenure. Look for actual leadership capabilities. Can they coach? Can they empower? Communicate? Build trust?
Skills you can actually assess for.
You can. And then create paths for those technical experts, those star performers, to grow and be rewarded without forcing them into management if it's not a fit. Let them be senior engineers, principal scientists, master consultants, whatever. Keep their expertise without making them or their future team miserable.
Don't make your best player the coach if they can't coach. Makes sense.
It should be obvious, shouldn't it? And the final piece, maybe the biggest. Train your managers. But not just any old generic seminar. Targeted, practical training.
Like what?
Like teaching them how to give feedback using models like situation behavior impact. Training them in active listening so they actually hear their team. Conflict resolution skills. Emotional intelligence. Real tools for the job of leading humans. Invest proactively. Develop people into leaders instead of just reacting when everything falls apart.
So it's a mix then. Fixing the system and giving individuals tools.
It has to be.
Okay, so the next time you encounter a challenging manager, maybe ask yourself, is this a lone villain or a symptom of a bigger systemic problem that the organization has ignored? Maybe, probably. It's a bit of both. And understanding that might be the key to navigating it all.
Thanks for listening to Monarch's AI Cast. For more insights on leadership and organizational health, visit leadwithmonarch.com. Don't forget to subscribe and share this deep dive with your team. Until next time, keep leading with purpose.